Hey, Whippersnappers, this is Tortimer the Gray, welcoming you back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown Subday challenges. This week was the Mono Animal Challenge, which was actually brought to us by Thunder Rainbow, and so that's why we're starting off with his attempt here, and Thunder decided to go with an all-bat team, which he had to stretch a little bit, because obviously he couldn't find enough bats to really make up a full team, but he's got a couple of moths and stuff in there, which are pretty much just bug bats, so we'll go for it. So he led off with his Gligar, got the rocks up, and now he's got his Dustox in there, who's taking a bit of a beating, getting the burn off and stuff, but yeah, really not doing a ton of damage. So unfortunately, his Dustox is going to go down without doing a whole lot for him, at which point Hitmonlee's going to come in, and he's going to bring in Iris, his Swoobat, and Swoobat is going to set up the Calm Mind, and going to get the Heat Wave off on the Excavalier, which is going to take him down in one shot. So that works out very nicely for him. Then Beedrill comes in, evolves into Mega Beedrill, and is going to avoid the Heat Wave with a Protect, but then going to get the knockoff off on Iris on the next turn and take it on down. So at that point, Thunder's going to bring in Nathaniel. Nathaniel's going to take a knockoff, lose its Life Orb, but be able to get the critical fire or flamethrower off on the Mega Beedrill to take it off the field. At which point Vaporeon comes in. Vaporeon's going to tank a Draco Meteor because that's just what Vaporeons do, and Vaporeon's going to get the Ice Beam up on Thunder. Thunder brings in Amber, his other bat, Crobat, and Rotom Heat comes in, and even with the resist, the Brave Bird does enough to get that Rotom Heat out of the way, so that works out very nicely. Those Rotoms are real annoying. Porygon Z comes in and is going to get one-shotted by the Brave Bird from the Crobat, and then Hitmonlee comes in, throws up the Endure. So the Brave Bird would have easily killed, but he gets the Endure, and then he gets, with Weakness Policy, gets a bunch of boosts there, which is unfortunately going to give him enough power to get rid of the Crobat, which was doing so well for Thunder. Ken then comes in, going to take a hard close combat from the now 2x attack boosted Hitmonlee, and going to go down, and then Jade comes in, and is going to obviously Rapid Spin. Hitmonlee goes down, rocks are gone, so Vaporeon's not going to take any damage when it comes in, and the Air Slash is not going to do enough for the super defensive Vaporeon, and unfortunately the Vaporeon's going to land an Ice Beam, and Thunder's going to go down. So Thunder wasn't able to get a win this week, but it was his challenge, so I wanted to make sure to include the attempt he did provide me. And so yeah, just a reminder to you guys, try and get wins. It is a challenge, and I will include your best attempt if you guys give them to me, but wins are the best. So let's try out the other one, shall we? Alright guys, here we go with Addy's attempt for the week, and Addy decided to go with an all-fish team. He's got his nice little fisherman icon over there and everything like that, and he put together a very neat little team. You got, Sealaneth and Lantern and Wishcash and Basculin and Finneon's Evolution, whichever one that is, I honestly don't know. And then Stunkfish, which he's got out right now. Beautiful is kind of a misnomer. But Beautiful is able, with its electric typing, to avoid the kill from the Giga Drain there, enough to get that Butterfree out of the way. That's one of the things that Addy had mentioned in his comment when he posted. He was really worried about grass types, because even when he had non-water type fish, Stunkfish still had the ground typing, but thankfully I think the resist from the electric probably gave him enough. He was able to get rid of the Butterfree before it was able to wreak real havoc on his team. So he's up against another guy with a couple of fish on his team, actually, but Whiskers is going to come in and set up with the Dragon Dance, and he's going to get the Waterfall off on the Haunter, who does have the Sash, which allows him to hang on, but Haunter flinches, so he can't set up a Destiny bond or anything like that. So then Whiskers is up against Lantern, able to get the Earthquake off pretty easily with his boost there and kill Lantern one hit. And then the Basculin comes in and is also going to fall to an Earthquake. So, yeah, Addy had a cool little team put together here, and he made good use of it. I've never used a Wishcash before. Maybe I should give him a shot. He looks like he might be interesting. But yeah, so we've had a bat team, we've had a fish team. Why don't we take a look at my team, shall we? Alright guys, here we go with my battle for this week's Mono Animal Challenge, and if you guys couldn't have guessed ahead of time, I went with Turtles/Tortoises for my Mono Animal Challenge. I had to stretch a little bit on some of them because there's only really, I would say, 4 true turtles or tortoises in the Pokemon universe, at least families. But I threw in Shuckle here, Raphael, and Shuckle comes in and sets up with the Sticky Web and the Stealth Rocks, which is perfect. Sharpedo's locked into Hydro Pump Encore, so I bring in Donatello, and I'm going to Mega Evolve here. Normally Blastoise would be my Leonardo, but he was the only turtle who I could get any kind of purple out of, so I went for Donatello there. And he's going to get the Dark Pulse off on the Alakazam and take it down, which is fantastic. Then he's going to get the Aura Sphere off on the Snorlax, which is going to break the Focus Punch focusing, so that works out very nicely. And then they're going to switch back out into Golurk, who's going to take another Aura, or I used Dragon Pulse to finish off because I was worried about accuracy. But go for the Dark Pulse here and finish off the Golurk, so that works out very nicely. When Railrain comes in, Donatello can't do much to Railrain, so I'm going to bring Raphael back in just to get rid of its item. I know the defenses are going to hold, so I wanted to get off what ended up being the Choice Band there, and so that works out real nicely for us. And then I just kind of let Raphael go because he's, I mean, with the webs and the rock stuff, there's really not much else for him to do. At that point, Slash comes in, and Slash is going to use the Wood Hammer and take out the Railrain. Zoroark comes in at that point, lowers speed and everything like that, which is fantastic, and then we one-shot with Slash's Wood Hammer, so that works out very, very nicely. Snorlax is going to take some rocks damage. I bring Slash out, I bring in Michelangelo. I do that mostly just for variety's sake, and I know that his defenses are going to hold, but I get lucky with the Fire Blast there, and so that makes me look real smart, but I won't claim that. I had no idea that thing had Fire Blast on it. Just kind of brought Michelangelo in for variety's sake. Kind of the same with Leonardo. I could have easily brought in Donatello again to use the Aura Sphere, but I'm going to Shell Smash with Leonardo, hoping that I can get a move off here. But it's gonna miss, unfortunately, and so Leonardo goes down. If that had hit, that probably would have been enough to get rid of the Sharpedo, but hey, you can't win them all. At that point, Donatello comes back in, and the Snorlax is gonna switch in, but gonna die to rocks damage. So that'll be the battle there. So I got around to just about everybody. I had the Avalugg there, who I consider close enough to a tortoise, and its name was Venus de Milo. So they were all named after Ninja Turtle characters, which I had a lot of fun doing. But yeah, anyway, that was my Mono Animal Challenge for this week. Let's check out another one, shall we? Alright guys, so we had a bat battle, a fish battle, a turtle battle, and now we are having a dog battle. Sub Flaming Bull brings us this one, and he went into the UU tier with his all-dog team, and going up against some very interesting Pokemon here. He's got some Salamances to overcome, Flogras, some really challenging ones sometimes. So he's got his Lucario out, he's got the Swords Dance up, using the Stone Edge doesn't get him much on the Chestnut, so he switches into his Houndoom, who unfortunately is going to take that Drain Punch right in the face and go down. He's got Entei as a backup for the Chestnut though, so he's able to get the Sacred Fire off, which despite the Dragon typing resisting fire, he does good damage to Salsa here, and he's able to bring Stoutland back in and tank the Earthquake, and then he brings in Granbull, who's going to also take an Earthquake very well, actually, and pretty much just stalling out Salsa till he dies. Then he's got Crobat there. He gets the Thunder Punch off on the Flying type, but unfortunately is not going to have enough left in him to survive the Brave Bird. But thankfully for Flaming Bull, the Brave Bird recoil is enough to take out the Crobat. So at least he got the kill one way or the other, I guess. Entei then comes in with the Flare Blitz and wrecks the Flogras. And then the Absol's going to come in, and it's going to actually Mega Evolve here in a second. There it goes. And go up against the Suicune, but the Sucker Punch does nothing because of the switch. And then Suicune's going to start setting up, which is going to end up being real useful for him, especially avoiding any potential Sucker Punches there. And he's going to rest here to get all of his health back, and then he's going to use his Chesto Berry to wake up. Gets a Zen Headbutt, but doesn't really do much. And then the Scald is going to do just about half. Well, actually, exactly half there if you look at it. And then the Ice Beam is going to be enough to finish off the Mega Absol. So, good handling of a Mega there. Not too much trouble for the Suicune. And then the Ice Beam is going to just wreck Chestnut. And then all they've got left is their Flying Dragon type, who's also going to go down to an Ice Beam. So, yeah, Flaming Bull did a good job there. UU tier, nice little dog team put together. So, we've had Bats, Fish, turtles, dogs. Let's see what our next sub has for us, shall we? Alright guys, here we go. We have Erin Soris's attempt for the day, and she went for a rabbit team, and she was hanging out in the OU tier this week. And so she's got Nidoqueen, Azrael, Lopunny, Diggersby, Victini, and Nidoking. So she's got a very interesting little team going there. And Bugs is going to come in. She's got fun little rabbity names for everybody. But Bugs comes in. He's going to get a good hard return off on the Latias, and then she's going to get him out of there, bringing in Flopsy, the Azurill, or Azumarill? Azumarill, yeah, that one. Azurill's the baby evolution. But Flopsy's going to get a good knockoff off, getting rid of the Chesto Berry so Rotom can't do any Resto Chesto nonsense, and force out the Rotom Wash. The Thunderous Therian's going to take a hard play rough, just about killing it. And then they're going to bring Rotom Wash back in for the Aqua Jet. So maybe some predicting on their part, maybe not. I don't really know how smart her opponent was trying to be, or if they just got lucky there. But I figured they assumed that they didn't want to waste the Therian. Buster with his burn is not going to be able to do as much as I think Aaron was hoping, and then he's going to go down to a Hydro Pump. So overall, Nidoking didn't do much for her, but she does have the Velveteen Rabbit here with her Mega Lopunny, which I've been seeing a lot of lately, and Mega Lopunny is going to be able to withstand that Thunderbolt and get the Ice Punch off on the Landorus, and, or is it Thunderous? Yeah, Thunderous. I can't keep those stupid genies straight. Flopsy comes in and gets the Aqua Jet off on the Infernape, which is going to just about kill it. And then Flopsy's going to take a hard return from the Pinsir and go down. At that point, Harvey, her Victini, comes in and is going to get the Blue Flare off on the Infernape, which, while not being very effective, is still plenty to kill the already weakened Infernape. And then the Focus Blast from the Victini is going to do enough against that Steel-type Excadrill that it goes down. And then another Blue Flare easily takes care of the Pinsir. So a very fun little rabbit-type team here today. I almost actually did this. I almost did rabbits in Little Cup when I was originally starting to think about it. But then I was like, you know what? I really probably ought to do turtles. So there we go. Let's check out what the next sub has for us in terms of animals, shall we? Alright guys, welcome back. This is an episode brought to us by sub Alex Whitty, who's Spectre up here in the top right. They led off with their Zora in the disguise of their Snubbull and was able to do some pretty good damage to the Eevee, but the Eevee was in the end able to best it. So they brought in their Riolu, Riley, to finish it off, and sent up Riley against the Timber, which have become beasts in Little Cup lately. I'm really not a fan. But Timber is going to do some pretty hard damage to Riley, but in the end, Riley is at the very least going to put him close enough to the death that his Hades is going to be able to come in and just Sucker Punch and get him right off the field without any trouble. So, good work there. Then they bring in their, I almost said they bring in their Morden, but it's called a Dwebble, and he brings in his actual Snubbull, who's going to get a good close combat off on the Dwebble, and lucky for him, the Dwebble does not appear to have berry juice or anything on it, which is an interesting choice. But he's able to come in with Ruffles, the Lillipup, and take out the Dwebble, and then do some hard damage to the Trico, before forcing it out. The return is going to be enough to also just about kill the Mudkip, but Mudkip's going to be able to take him out with an Avalanche, forcing him to come in with Sparky, who's going to get the Volt Switch off and take out the Mudkip, leaving Hades to come in, who's going to get the Dark Pulse off on the Fennekin. That's what that thing's called, Fennekin. And so Dark Pulsing again will get rid of the Fennekin for good, leaving him open to just take out the Trico, no problems there. So a good battle there from Alex, going after Little Cup, which was cool. I think the only person this week who did Little Cup. So appreciate that, and thank you for submitting a battle. Alright, we got a couple more left this week still, so let's check it out, shall we? I take that back. Sugar Puffs went for Little Cup as well with his mono-type, or mono-bird team, so I apologize to Sugar for forgetting that he had done Little Cup. And so he leads off with a Starly, who's going to get put to sleep by the Meowth, which is an interesting play. But Meowth, he's going to be able to switch in his Swablu, set up the Tailwind, which is going to help assist his team further in the future. And Swablu's able to resist some of the attacks coming from the Meowth and finish it off. So that works out very nicely for him. The Tailwind will certainly be helpful for later in the battle. Fletchling comes in and is going to be able to withstand a Acrobatics and goes for the Swords Dance, and is able to take it out with the Tailwind, win that speed tie, and get rid of their own fletchling. So that works out very nicely for him. He's able to bring the Ducklet at that point, and unfortunately Ducklet's not going to be fast enough for the Cranidos and is going to go down to a hard head smash. Tailow's going to set up the Protect, which the head smash is obviously not going to hit then, and then he's going to a miss attack, which is really helpful for Sugar there, and Tailow's able to take it out with a single return. So that works out very, very nicely for him. Abra as well drops to a single return from the Guts boosted Taillow, and Scraggy is going to go down to the Brave Bird. So good momentum shift there from Sugar. He was able to get things turned around for himself and sweep through the rest of his team with just the Taillow. So yeah, a good battle there from Sugar. I've been forgetting to mention on everybody, a lot of our participants this week do have YouTube channels of their own, including Sugar, and so as always, links to their channels will be down in the description below. I apologize that I've forgotten to shout out on most everybody else. So as always, though, their channels will be in the link to the description below. A lot of them post battles of their own on their own channels, so check them out for sure. And let's jump into the last one, shall we? Alright guys, here we go with our last battle of the day. We have Sub Scadril with his all-snake team going down in UU, and he's got a very cool team here with Seviper, Arbok, Steelix, Dragonair, Milotic, and Dunsparce. Steelix is able to get the rocks up and do some good damage to the Bastiodon, and Blade's able to come in and clean up for the Steelix, who wasn't able to quite finish that off. Then Lord Helix comes in, and Blade with the Giga Drain, which caught me and his opponent by surprise, was able to take down Lord Helix no trouble. But Mega Aerodactyl comes in, is able to get rid of the Seviper, which is good because that guy was looking dominant. So then he brings in his Milotic, who's going to activate Cordelia's Storm Drain, of course accidentally because Aerodactyl had been in there previously. And then he's going to get the Dragon Tail off to switch back in Aerodactyl, who's at the very least going to get some rocks damage, and is going to then take an Ice Beam. So, oh, and he gets the freeze. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, so he gets the freeze at that point then, and that gives him a chance to set up and recover with his Milotic. And they leave Aerodactyl in because at that point he can't come back in with the rocks, so you got to just let him die. So at this point, let you guys just kind of watch the rest of Scad's battle. It is a good battle. He does a good job. But Scad is capping off the end of this episode because we are using his suggestion for this next week's challenge. It's actually a suggestion he gave us a couple of weeks ago, but Friday, February 13th, was actually the 1-year anniversary of Twitch Plays Pokemon, which was a huge phenomenon last year. Where somebody had set up a ROM of the game in order to be controlled by comments of people on Twitch. You would comment like A or B, and that would happen in the game. And so that's all well and good until you get hundreds of thousands of people watching, and then it gets a little out of control. So it was a huge phenomenon. If you guys haven't heard of it yet, I'm linking, well, actually for everybody, I'm linking the Bulbapedia article in the description, because what we're going to be doing this week is, in honor of the anniversary of Twitch Plays Pokemon, we are going to be doing the Twitch Plays Pokemon Challenge, which will put you guys in the position of creating teams, or, well, really, what I would like to see you guys do is try and win a battle with the teams that they used. This page has all the teams from all the challenges they did, because they started with Pokemon Red, but then they've gone through and done almost every other Pokemon game imaginable. So they've got Hall of Fame teams listed on the page there. Whatever tier you guys want to use, I would say you're allowed to devolve the Pokemon. So if you want to do like Little Cup or something, feel free to devolve the Pokemon. But like there's some teams where like the Pokemon never evolved, like they have like a Joltik on one of the teams or something. You can't use Galvantula. I would. That's what I'm gonna say. So you can use any of the Pokemon on that page or their previous evolutions, but you can't evolve any of those Pokemon. And just, you know, whatever tier you want to do, go in. I would like you guys to try and make one of the existing teams work. And if you guys can't do that, or if you would just rather not do that, you can build teams from any of the Pokemon listed on those pages. But I think it'd be fun if you guys just like, oh, I'm going to do the Pokemon Heart Gold team or whatever, and try and make that work. In order to make it, you know, obviously Twitch Plays Pokemon, obviously name the Pokemon all the ridiculous names that are listed there on the Bulbapedia page. Some of them are real out there because obviously they're getting named by random button strokes in Twitch. So yeah, check that out. Put your teams together. I'm looking forward to you guys' entries, and I think this will be a nice way for us to kind of pay homage to that last year's phenomena of Twitch Plays Pokemon. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys once again so much for your submissions. I really greatly appreciate you guys continuing to support this series. We are, I guess this is only episode 4, but you guys have continued on with the support, which is great. So I appreciate it very much. If you guys have yet to get into the game and you're interested in submitting stuff, there's a link down to Pokemon Showdown in the description below. It is free and easy to use, so feel free to get in there and submit your replays to me. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. Make sure to those likes, comments, and subscriptions for me, guys, and I'll see you next time.